Hey Jason,
Hey,
you look you look good.
uh, sure.
That time in Guatemala really fit you.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we are live now. I'm going to share my screen to introduce these guys. So, guys, thank you all for being here. As you know, all the teams that you will see today and the ones you will be interacting with today have been spending a lot of time working on their applications. We are really proud about them, and we can really feel the effort they have made with their projects. The idea of Demo Day is for them to have the chance to put all their knowledge into practice, right? They spend 1 month learning different aspects of Python and web development, and the idea is not just them to like settle with theoretical or just small pieces of knowledge, but to have the chance to put everything into a real life project, estimating things, trying to get something deployed, and managing networking, security, documentation, testing, all the things that we know are important as developers. And well, we are really proud of also about the 4 projects we have today. Um, Welcome all. Thank you again. Thank you to the judges we have today because they are putting their personal time here, and that's really valuable. Thank you, really, in advance for what you will be doing today. So I'm going to do a quick introduction about our jury today. Belen, she's a front-end developer. She's based on City Bell, close to La Plata. She will. She has good knowledge about front-end technologies and product. Dustin, he's from Salt Lake City. He is a software developer at pluralsight.com, competitors. um, and we also have Manu, who is a project leader at Globant, a huge company. So what we realized with Martin when we were assembling the jury was that every one of the judges have like a different uh, strength, if you want, and it's going to be useful for the projects when they receive feedback. Martin has already gone through the methodology with the groups in private, but basically, just as a refresher, each project, each group is going to have 5 minutes to present. They will show you guys. They will share their screen, and they will show you what they have built and the aspects they want to note from it. After that, the jury will have 5 minutes to just ask any question they have and to provide a feedback that they believe it's important. I'm going to ask you something technical, please. The group has one person defined to do the presentation. The rest of us, while we are not speaking, please mute your microphones. We are going to mute ours so we don't have annoying background noise. Anything else? Any question? Something before we begin? Nope. All right. So we're going to pass the command to the first unpronounceable project. um, it's all yours, guys. I'm going to stop sharing. You can do so and just get this ball rolling.
Let me get this screen share going. Can you guys
Okay.
hear me?
While Ben
Yep.
is working on sharing it, I'll describe our project real quick. We all like to listen to music, and Reddit has a subreddit called Listen to This, and we Reddit's search function isn't very good if you've ever tried to search for an old post. And so maybe you're into a specific type of music, like a genre, and you want to look it up. We gave the capability to search for that genre and have it pull all based on the last songs that are posted on Reddit. You can actually filter all songs of the genre you like now, and then get like the top ones or recent ones or random if you want to discover new music. And so we actually quite enjoy using our app so far. We've heard some pretty goofy music, and I'll let Ben take over.
So I've got this up on my screen if you guys can see. Take it a step further. What we're doing to get even more music going is as people add music, add new posts to listen to this, we're going to continue to pull more music from there and throw it into our database so that we have more and more music that people can find. So we decided to go with a really catchy name that is very easy to remember. Timeless music for you and your friends to listen to when you want something like that. The web app. It's short, it's simple, easy to remember. But anyway, moving on. We use Bootstrap to keep things simple because none of us are really front end people much. The idea of the app is you can take any genre, you can plug it in, and you'll get 10 results, and it works pretty quick. So I put in rock, and I'll get 10 results right there, 10 rock results. Right now, the only functionality is random. We're going to be working on recent and top so that there are more ways to pull in music.
They
And that's
work.
going to be, they do work, okay. Sorry, I thought those weren't working. So we can also look at recent. Right. If you don't put anything in, you're just going to get 10 random things that, maybe you even hadn't considered that's a type of music. And you can listen to all of that. And then let's say something fails. Like let's say you look for Blabble. I don't think there's any music called that. It's not gonna work. Um, and that's it. That's the basic functionality. We've got an about page where we've pulled from a README to get some basic information about the app. We decided to go with TinyDB because it limits the amount of code. It's pretty simple, and we thought going with some sort of non-relational database made a lot of sense since we were pulling in a JSON file to begin with and could just toss that all up in there.
Yeah, we decided to go with random, recent, and top just because that's what the API gave us, more or less. We got the upvotes from it and the timestamp. And there wasn't much other useful information aside from that. But basically, if you, Ben, can you search it again? You can,
Sure.
the good
Yeah.
thing about it is, and you can search, you don't have to put anything yet, sure. Emo, great. Why'd you do that? You can click on any of those thumbnails and it will actually pull you to the link of the song and you can actually listen to it. I wouldn't click on an emo song right now, but yeah. And this is really cool because the reason this app is kind of nice is because you can get more niche music, like stuff that's not so mainstream, or maybe it's a little bit older and you haven't heard it in a while. Because that's the beauty of that subreddit. It's got music from all varieties and all over the all years. Anybody else?
That's it?
Yeah, actually, one quick point. So I think we should be clear that that we're not exactly mimicking Reddit's search function. So Reddit has the filters like hot, random, or new, and top that Jason mentioned. So we're not exactly mimicking how their algorithm works. We're actually at this point only sourcing the results from hot, and then we're kind of using our own logic to decide which ones are top, recent, and how we also deliver random results. But that's important because as we understand it, Reddit's hot algorithm, it gives the most weight to when the songs when the posts were posted. So a new song will always, so a song which has, so if you take two posts which have an equal number of upvotes, the same post being posted a day later can have as much as like a 6 or 8-10% higher score. So all the newer posts, of course, they're giving much more priority. And so by taking the last 1,000 results, we help people find the songs in the hot category, but that may have been missed. Of course, missed on the front page, definitely, but probably also missed even in the search bar. So I think it's important to note that difference between how the two work.
Awesome. Can you guys expand? You have 1 more minute about how do you choose to divide the work and how was the project design in a human level?
Can't hear you, Anila.
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Can you guys expand on how you choose
Oh,
to
oh, I heard you. I didn't hear. I can hear
Oh,
you.
my microphone was muted. That would do it, I guess. Is someone else speaking? Sorry.
oh,
Hello? Okay. So I mean, primarily we used GitHub, and we added issues as they arose. We'd have one person generally review the review a pull request before bringing it in. Sometimes that would lead to some conversation. We go back and forth a little, figure something out. There was some hashing it out and figuring out how that would work, but as it went along, it became more smooth and much easier, and we all sort of like fell into a groove.
awesome. So that's it.
Unless you want to hear some music. I think so.
Manu, Belen, Dustin, all yours, guys.
Okay. Well, first of all, congratulations for stay here, and sorry for my English. I'm from Argentina. Uh, I will try to do my best. I would like to know. Well, I am project manager right now, so I would like to know if you create and made some documentation to follow the development process, uh, and also know about it, how you estimate the task, or if you use like epic stories, if you use agile methodologies. I would like to know about it.
In terms of the documentation, I mean, other than notes that we put directly in the code, we didn't really include separate documentation. And for the most part, when we were collaborating, we were using GitHub and the features there, so that we could raise issues and people could pick them up and assign themselves as needed. We weren't using too much outside software other than live collaboration and Slack.
Okay, about how you estimate the effort to do each task. Do you use something to estimate? Maybe you use story points, or just start working and, well, try to do
I would have
before
loved
some things.
if we had done that. We didn't. We didn't have stories or anything. We just sort of jumped in and dug in, and sometimes things ended up being bigger and had to be broken down into multiple issues, which I guess is kind of how it happens when you're doing things in more of an agile methodology anyway. Except that we didn't have the foresight to say this is probably going to take a few hours or however long, and just sort of went with it.
Okay, and the result of the application that we are seeing now is the same that you planned before start working?
Well, yeah, we
Yeah.
had an idea of what the minimum product would look like, which is basically what you see before you. And then we also had quite a few ideas for enhancements. And actually, if you visit our GitHub, we have all the enhancements described in the ideas. And we actually do plan to implement those moving forward. At least I do. So, and I think the rest of the guys do as well. So yeah, so this is the minimum. This is how we go talking about estimation. This is what we estimated we could have gotten done, at the very least, in the time frame, and hopefully we could have gotten done more. But this is where we're at right now.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we did go through a couple of rewrites. The NoSQL database with TinyDB was not our original solution, and we were going back and forth on whether we wanted to use a database, and so there were a few times we had to write things over again. But even right now, just to sort of jump the question, we're just getting some tests going on GitHub, and we're hoping to integrate more so that we can have better coverage for the whole app.
Okay, great.
I've got some thoughts. This is Dustin. first of all, just some quick feedback in looking through the code. I appreciated that it was pretty easy to just kind of jump in and figure out how things worked. In the majority of the times, there were nice small functions that had a pretty good, clear purpose, so that was really nice. Kept your settings in one place. I didn't know if you mentioned some tests. I couldn't really find much in the way of tests unless they're not in the master branch. Can you speak to that? I may have just been looking in the wrong place.
Well, so far, just go a little further with what Ben was saying. I think that so in the process, we kind of, and this is our fault, but we kind of did more of heuristic testing, where it was more on the go, and quickly in that moment figure out the problems and get them working, and once they were working, move on. I think that was more of a symptom of having not enough time or feeling like we didn't have enough time. And then also for being in different time zones, but that is the area, probably the one area, or the area what we most should have, that most needs work. And if you look on a branch, I forgot what it's called. I think it might be called ad testing. We actually started writing those unit test functions. So now it's a matter of just building those out and then hopefully merging them sooner than later.
I also thought you did a good job in that you had a demo that worked. Those always seem to, if it's not going to work, it's going to happen when it's in front of everyone. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And it seems like you did a pretty good job of picking a good scope that was manageable, so you're able to deliver something. One question, this will be my last question. Did you guys deliver incrementally, and more specifically, what was the first thing that you delivered? And by delivered, I mean you could have delivered. It was the first thing that actually ran and worked. What did it look like?
It was the, I don't know if you recall the index, the search page, the home page. So that was the first thing that we delivered. But of course, if you use the search feature, there would have been, there was no functionality at that point.
Right.
Does that answer the question?
If I can sharpen it a little, at one point we didn't have the database going, so it was pulling directly from the API, and that was incredibly slow, which is one of the things that prompted us to go with the database.
Gotcha. Were you able to kind of get to that point quickly?
Yeah, more or less. Seemed reasonable speed.
Cool. That's all for me. Thanks, guys. Nice job.
Okay, thank you all.
Thanks for your time.
We're running out of time. Thank you again, Anubhav, Ben, Jason, Tyler. I don't know if I'm forgetting about someone that was present here, but amazing project. And in our end, I think that it's just what Dustin just said. It's having something done, and if it's small, but having it working, it's way more valuable than have something big halfway there. That 80-20 rule, it applies to this kind of stuff. That last 20% is the hardest. Martin?
No much to say on top of that. Congratulations, guys. It was an amazing project. I think you fulfill what we asked in the presentation of this demo day. You made a working application. Maybe it's not too much polished, but it's working. It fulfilled all the features you mentioned in the scope, in the initial scope. So that's the main goal of this demo day, and you did it. So thank you very much.
All right, we're going to ask you, the group, to drop out, and we're going to bring here the next group. Thank you guys again. I will be sharing your contact with people. What are you doing, Jason?
Saying goodbye.
See you.
See you.
Thanks, guys.
See you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Congratulations.
So let's wait 1 minute until the whole group is showing.
Santiago. ¿Qué pasó? Andy.
See?
Hey.
Hey, Philippe.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, Philippe. What's up?
All right.
What time is in Germany now?
It's 1 a.m.
Oh.
Where's Ben? Is Ben around?
Ben, he's not. He found a job and stuff, and he doesn't have time.
He's a working man now. All right, and Elliot isn't here either, right?
Yeah, Elliot, I don't know. He didn't, he disappeared.
Okay, so guys of the jury, be patient with poor Philippe, he's alone. Again, just a quick reminder, Philippe, 5 minutes to present your project, 5 minutes, that's the top time, but of course you can do it in less, that's even better. And then the jury might ask whatever question they have. Again, present the product, focus on technology, focus on the process, focus on testing, the documentation, etc. All yours, be famous.
Okay, so the project started with 3 people, but I had to finish it alone because the other members had some issues. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. Well, if I find, how do I do that? Can you help me? How do I share my screen on the...
There is a green screen at the left, a green display.
Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
All right, so our idea was to take comments from the Reddit API about the European Soccer Championship and analyze them based on how good the teams are, like how the general opinion about the teams is, basically. So to do that, we used kind of a web scraper script that called the Reddit API repeatedly and kind of looked for references of countries. And if it had any, it stored them in our database. And yes, so we use that data to present some interesting graphs and facts and stuff on a website. So this is the website. It uses Flask, and yeah, I have some graphs in there. Those are interactive graphs, so you can zoom and everything. It's with the Bokeh plugin, like the Bokeh package. So it has 3 options, like you can show the sentiment of the countries during the matches. And it calls another API for the matches, like how the score is and everything. And also you can plot custom graphs with the data we collected. So basically you can take some countries, choose a time frame, and then get a graph on the sentiment. So the sentiment is basically how positive or negative the comments were on the countries. So basically 0 is neutral and below is bad, and if it's above 0, it's good, like a good sentiment. Yeah, so that's basically the website. To do everything, we use the Reddit API. We use SQLite, and I think I have a list somewhere. Yeah, we have the Python NLTK package, which does natural language processing for like finding out how good how the sentiment is of the comments and everything. We also have Bokeh as a plotting service. And I think that's it. Oh, there's the match data, so the football data API for getting like where the time of the matches and everything. And yeah, that's basically all I have for now. I had some trouble because I had to finish it alone, but yeah, that's what I got.
Awesome. Thank you, Philippe. Guys, all yours. Philippe, there you go.
Yes.
I can go first on this one.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds like you got put in a hard spot with losing some team members there, and I'd love it if you wouldn't mind taking the floor and talking more. I don't mean to be telling you to whine about everyone or whatever, but it is good to know how you dealt with it. That's a pretty real world challenge. How did that go down?
Yeah,
What did you do? Did you change the scope after that happened? Tell me more.
Yes, so basically one group member kind of disappeared. He never went online. Like I don't know what happened to him. And well, he was basically responsible for the front end stuff. So I had to look into it, and I didn't really know much about front end. And well, it was really like overwhelming to do all of the stuff at once. And later, the other group member helped a lot, but at the end he found a job and he didn't have that much time. So at the end, I had to finish it on my own. So yeah, I reduced the functionality a lot because I couldn't do it in the time. But yeah, I kind of managed to get something working.
Can I make you a question, Philippe?
Yes.
I was taking a look at the scope you sent to us, and in the technical description you made of the project, I've seen that you have included the Python natural language processing library. Have you used that in the project? In which of the features are you using it, and how hard was it to include it in the project?
We used the sentiment analyzer of that package to find out how positive or negative the comments from Reddit were, basically. And that wasn't really hard to do. I know it can be quite low level, but for that it was pretty easy to use. Like you just had to feed in the text of the comment and you got out like how positive or negative it was.
Thank you. It's good to know. Maybe I'm going to try it someday.
Last thing, Manu, Helen. Have 2 minutes.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations for your project, Philippe. I would like to know why you choose this kind of project. Why use, I don't know, soccer and some statistics, and what do you think that is the business model behind this kind of project?
Okay, so we were three European guys at the start, and we were all interested in soccer and the Euros and stuff. So we thought it would be interesting for us, but also the data we get is kind of interesting. Like there are some trends to recognize and stuff, so it could be presented to other people and it could be interesting for them, I think. And that's basically all it does, like it's interesting.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Okay.
I got one more for you. I just I don't want to take the floor the whole time.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So just looking through your code here, this is something I said to another group earlier, but I thought overall pretty decent breakdown of functions. I like to see that there's not like functions that are like 400 lines long or something ridiculous. Pretty reasonably easy to read through and see what's going on for the most part. It looks like you got started on some tests, but maybe more like just a test framework and didn't get going too much with the actual tests themselves.
Yes, like I was too busy with the other stuff to write tests for everything. So I started out with writing tests, but in the end it got too stressful. So I didn't really write tests for everything.
Again, Pretty cool demo, by the way.
Thanks.
Despite it all, it seemed like it came together quite well. I imagine that was a lot of work, and kudos to you for not just throwing in the towel.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Okay, guys, thank you. Thank you, Philippe. Great project and managing the hustle.
Thank you, Philippe.
Yeah, thanks.
You can go to sleep now.
Yeah, I will.
See you later.
Thank you. Congratulations.
All right.
Hey, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We have outnumbered Dustin. We could easily speak Spanish. Dustin, have you polished your Spanish lady?
Totally. I know Spanish. Didn't you know that?
Yeah, I know you're Spanish.
There's Helen, though. Helen's here. She was able to make it.
Hey, Helen.
Hi. Hola.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you? How was the interview?
I didn't have it yet. I had an appointment with career services and I just freaked out about my interview.
Well,
Yeah.
so for the jury to know, Helen is interviewing for Amazon. Congratulations.
Thanks. I should say it's a non-technical position.
Doesn't matter. For us, we're going to put the Amazon logo in our
Amazing.
Our customers.
All right, guys, you know how this works. 5 minutes, please, Helen, to present. Share your screen, show your project, tell us about technology, tell us about the process, tell us about how you divided the work, how you manage the groups, the design, everything you want. 5 minutes, and you hit the questions from the jury, and that's it.
Oh man. All right. Should I paste the link or does everyone have it?
Share your screen so you can use
Yeah.
it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that works too.
Okay, so Lewis has more of a technical background, and I have a linguistics degree, so we thought we'd kind of combine this and kind of look into machine learning, like NLP stuff. So we made this classifier that you can put in a tweet, and it tells you if it's like likely Democratic or likely Republican. So the first thing we did was we had to build a corpus, and we used Tweepy and FacePy, and these are just libraries that interact with Python, and we just got a bunch of tweets and some Facebook posts. Let's see. Okay, and then after we built a corpus, oh, that's cool. And then we, using the sklearn library, we vectorized all the tweets, which just kind of breaks things down into like, oh, okay. And then we used the classifier that's part of sklearn. So we had all our tweets, all our data, then we divided it into like a training set and then a test set. That's an interesting idea. Our site was. Does all that text fit in there? Our site was designed for tweets, which are like 140 words, so things are a bit different.
Maybe I broke it, sorry.
Testing on the fly.
Yeah. Let me see.
This is Democrat. Do you agree?
I don't know. It's a news article. It's not. It doesn't really have an opinion, does it?
I don't know. Sorry. Keep going. I shall
okay.
demoing the project while you speak.
It's okay. The corpus consists of like basically we took like Bernie Sanders' official Twitter account and we labeled those as like Democratic. And then we took like Donald Trump's Twitter account and we labeled that as Republican. So our classifier might reflect how these accounts kind of speak or their tone. Oh man, that's pretty neutral. That's a pretty neutral tweet. Okay.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Maybe.
I think I'm missing something. There is screen being shared that I don't see?
What did you say?
Is there a screen being shared that I don't see?
Yeah, I think is it Santiago's sharing the screen? He's looking at our
Yeah.
thingy. You have to like click on his little square.
Which square?
The one
Oh,
that's
right.
like Santiago.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Oh gosh. Yeah, so
What should I
our
do?
class.
Sorry.
Hmm?
What should I do?
Okay, let me find something.
Do you want me to do something? I understood you try me to click something. This tweet says
Okay,
North Carolina and it says it's Republican.
Okay, I pasted something. So I just Googled left-leaning tweets. So maybe you can try one of these and see if it's actually left-leaning.
All right.
Ooh, these don't look very left-leaning. Oh gosh.
Oh.
Maybe it's because they mentioned Trump. Ooh, these are strange.
You're going to the boundaries.
Guys, keep going with your presentation.
Okay.
I think they can go to the side by themselves.
Okay, wait. So, Luis, is there anything you wanted to add? Is he there? Okay. So we used
Yeah,
Flask.
sure. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I muted my microphone so it wouldn't interrupt you. But I think I wanted to add that we used several personalities with non-political leaning to train the classifier. I believe I picked myself Michael Moore as a left-leaning personality. Michelle Bachmann as right leaning. So there's at least 7-8 personalities for each leaning. There's about 2,000 statements in the database. I realized that that's not a lot for this kind of thing, but yeah, that's all we were able to gather.
Yeah. I mean, Twitter has some like rate limitations. When you try to extract a lot of tweets, they start limiting you because, yeah, they don't want you knowing all their business.
Yeah, something like that. However, if you pick statements with clear political leanings, such as this one I just copied from Twitter. I can paste that in the chat, right?
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
All right, I'm gonna paste this in the chat. You gotta understand that despite being a machine learning model, it doesn't understand politics or political leaning. It looks for speech markers in the statements and tries to classify a statement based on those markers. You know, words and pairs of words and groups of 3 words.
Yeah, our model is using bigrams and trigrams. Also,
yeah,
another
please go ahead.
limitation is that it's very, very hard for something like this to detect sarcasm. So, yeah, like a left-leaning tweet that's like sarcastically might be classified as a right-leaning tweet just because it's very hard to detect sarcasm. Yeah, I like read a paper about it and I was like, yeah, we can't try to do that. So yeah, it can be fooled by like combinations of terms.
Guys, we are over the time.
Okay.
Can I start with a question, guys?
Sure.
I guess these kind of applications where we are supposed to train a neural network and handle all these language processing stuff are really challenging to test. Can you share with us how did you handle the testing part of the application, if you did?
Oh yeah, I can comment on that. I think we use standard Python testing for the utilities, for the preprocessing utilities and stuff, and then we split our dataset into a testing dataset and a training dataset, and then we use the testing dataset to test the accuracy of the classifier after being trained with the training data. So that's just two separate types of testing.
Good. Manu, Dustin, Belen?
Well, from my side, congratulations for the idea. I think that is an amazing idea, and you made a great project and great application. I would like to know if you, during the development process, you did some code reviews or peer review, or how you handle the progress of the development.
How did we handle the process?
Well, there are only
All right,
two of
you mean
us.
if we yeah. However, we did consult a guy that works over me, and he works in this kind of stuff. He suggested a different approach. He suggested what we could do with the data set we have gathered. He shared a few suggestions with us. He of course he did not review the entire code. I wouldn't ask him to do that. I don't think he has the time for that. But he did share some of his thoughts with us.
Okay, and did you split the development, the functionalities between each other, or how you handle the development? Maybe in small task or uh, big task, and one of you made the half of the task, and the other continue working in other future. I don't know how you handle that.
I mean, we kind of consulted each other at certain points, and then it kind of went organically, I guess. But I think this is because there were only two of us, and we used Cloud9, so it was easy to look at it.
Yeah, and we were hanging out in Skype mostly.
Yeah.
If that's what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Hi, this is Dustin. Great job.
Hi.
My initial impression was really good about your presentation. I thought offhand, it seems like you did a great job of bringing in some of your strengths and your backgrounds to the project, picking something that you would likely succeed at, and solving kind of an interesting problem. And I don't know anything about this stuff, and I felt like I was able to quickly understand how you accomplished the task. So I thought your communication skills in this presentation were pretty excellent. Reading through the code was a very different story. I found it very difficult to tell what code belonged to, like the back-end processing versus the web and this and that. It was a little bit hard to follow, and not much in the way of a README. So if I were sorry, I'm mixing up another project. You actually did have a good README. Nope, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it was this one, sorry. So yeah, I feel like if I were a developer coming and trying to join you on this project, I would have a very difficult time knowing how to get started and getting it running and stuff like that. So those are kind of the pros and cons I found, and really interesting project overall.
Great.
All right, thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Luis, Helen. Amazing project. As Dustin said, he's not the only one that doesn't know anything about it. It's also something that happens to us. Usually, our students pick domains that are well ahead of our own skills, and that's awesome. We want more of that, and we want them to push us and to make us improve everything in our process. So, Helen, Luis, anything else?
Well, I think I would like to point that it was not made with the idea to impress a jury. It was made with the idea to Helen and I share, the knowledge we have. And I'm happy that we were able to, and that natural language processing and machine learning looks simpler to Helen now, and natural language processing looks simpler to me, because the insight I got from her. That's it.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
This is like a learning experiment. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, the last one. Last group.
Greg.
Hey guys.
Who else is joining? David, Phil?
Phil, David, and Greg.
But are they? Oh, here's David. And Phil.
Hello, Phil.
Hey, Phil.
Hi.
What's up? All right. All yours, guys. 5 minutes. Present it. Focus on your product, technology, methodology, human process design, and then we have 5 minutes of the jury, and we should be closing this. Share your screen. I'm going to just mute this stuff. All yours.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys. Bear with me just a moment while I get the screen shared, and we'll launch into the project. Just to start off, my name is Phil Wright. I worked with Dave Granas and Greg Karpov on this project. Let's see. And here we go. All right, so we should have our main project screen up on the up in the video now. We decided to build an app that was somewhat of an extension of a project that we did earlier in the year during our rmotr class. Back towards the beginning of June, I remember I think Santiago saying something in chat about a Hacker News post that's made every month, and linked us to it. And there was a conversation that happened in the rmotr chat about that post. The motivation behind the project is that being able to use a tool like that well is something that resonates with us as students in this sort of class, because we're really in the class because we want to open ourselves up to more software development opportunities. The application we built uses the Hacker News Who's Hiring threads as a backend, but builds some additional features into it. So we'll do a quick walkthrough. When you go to the app, you can put in some search terms, and two of the things that you might be interested in seeing that we thought would be helpful to show are what trends there are related to jobs that have been posted in this Hacker News Who's Hiring thread, and what jobs actually are available right now. So we started off by using Boki, the same tool as the other group did, to show some trend data based on the user's search. And this is showing proportional data related to job posts. So it's showing the percentage of all jobs that are posted on the site that match the search terms that the user supplies. And we thought this would be a cool feature that would allow a user to see some interesting trends in how the technologies that they're searching for have been used and have been requested in the past. So this is the first primary component of what we built, and then the second one is actually a list of the job posts that match the user's search term. So we have just a quick mini display of jobs that match the search, and then the user can actually pop up a view of the full text of what was posted on Hacker News in a thread for a specific job. So we have it set to only display information about jobs that were posted in the last month. One of the features we wanted to build into the app was the ability to see some information about the company when we were using the app. So we used the Glassdoor API to get some company information. Of course, not every company that posts on here is going to have is going to be that big. Some are startups. Some just aren't really out there yet. So here's an example of one where we didn't have any links, but some of the other ones, some of the bigger companies, like you can see for all of these that have logos, we were able to link to Glassdoor, and some of the bigger companies did have information that we could link to. So we used the Glassdoor API to get some information. We actually got rating information from Glassdoor, and then had it set to, so you could link to the Glassdoor overview page. They've put together a lot of really great information, reviews, salaries, interviews, stuff that anyone who's looking for a job might be interested in. So we had this set up in such a way that we could, one of the search features we built in was something that would allow us to, more recently we built in some search features that allows us to specify keywords that have to be included and keywords that can be excluded. So we so you can either you can run some more sophisticated searches than just a search with a few keyword matches. So you could search for something like remote jobs and make that mandatory. And we put a special flag on those job posts as well in the mini display, so you could see those quickly, ones that matched a remote keyword. And then finally, we also had it set so that if you search without a keyword term, it will show just the history of all posts that have been made in this Hacker News Who's Hiring feature. That's a pretty thorough overview of the features that we have built into it. I'll jump over to David for some information on the APIs that we used.
Okay, just a quick note was that we implemented a cron job to auto-update with all the new posts that are coming in. And so the auto-update is going to access 3 different APIs. It's going to access the Hacker News to get the new comments, and then also Glassdoor's API to get information on the companies. And then Also, we're parsing the location from the Hacker News post. So we use the geocoder API to get the location, and we actually have a feature to actually sort by distance from the user on the website as well. And back to Phil.
Amazing, guys. Impressive. Actually, a few things that I didn't know about. Incredible. Manu, Dustin, Belen, all yours.
I think, hello guys, congratulations for this work. It's an amazing job. It's a very good idea, and well, I would like to know when you think is the go live date, because it's very close to go to production. It's an amazing, really. Congratulations for that.
Great.
Just a question. I saw in the screen that you have plot and jobs, I think. I would like to know how you split the work in main features, then in subtask, you estimate the effort, you talk about it, you divide the work each other, how you handle that.
Yeah, definitely. That was something that was a struggle for us when we started off, and it took us a little bit of time to determine exactly how we were, what direction we were going to go, and how we would divide work. We came up with a list of tasks that we thought we would need to complete, and we used Basecamp, a project software, a project collaboration software to track everything that we needed to do. But we had a little bit of trouble determining exactly who was going to take on what portion of it. I think the biggest struggle we had related to that was knowing what order to do the different programming tasks in, because some of the things ended up being really heavily dependent on the others. So one struggle we had was that we started off by using JSON data that we had gotten from the APIs, and we were working on the format that data was going to come in, and everything that we needed for the app, but also trying to work on the design and inserting the data into our database, which was SQLite, by the way. So having some things dependent on others, we didn't really plan ahead for, which it seems like it should be obvious, but it's not something that we it's something that we would do a lot better the next time, I think. So we divided different portions of it into we divided it into the tasks of grabbing data from the APIs and making that available to the app. And I know David did the bulk of the API work and ended up doing a ton of work with processing different information. We ended up with a ton of information that that we had available to us. Then Greg worked really heavily on organizing the data that we had and making it available in how we needed to have it available to the interface that the user was going to have. And then I did a lot of work on organizing how the information was going to be displayed and what how the user would interact with it on the front side, and seeing exactly what we needed on that side. So we used Cloud9, of course, to do our coding, and GitHub to track versions. We used Basecamp to organize the tasks, and we kept notes in that about different tasks that we did, so we could go back and review what each other had been doing. I don't think any of us had used Basecamp before, and I think there are probably features of it that we didn't utilize fully. I think it was good that we had that tool to use to communicate, because it would have been really tough to organize if we hadn't had something like that.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations.
I have a question, guys. Do you have, and first of all, congratulations for this project. It's amazing. I love the project. I love the idea. And do you have in mind for the close future to finish polishing the application and publish it so everyone else is able to use it at some point?
Yeah, we'd like to. We have a list of features that we want to build into it. At the moment, it's publicly accessible, so it's something that really anyone could use. And we each had some friends kind of test it out and see if they could break it, and give us tips on how they thought it looked and what they would change if they could change anything. And we got some really good advice from these people. But I know there's some other features we want to build in. There's some things in the design we want to change. One of the things that we didn't get working completely until very recently was automatic updating of the data that we have in it. That's one of the things that turned out taking a lot more work than we expected. There's so much that would have to be considered to automate some of this stuff. Some of the stuff David was mentioning about finding locations, finding company matches. It just took quite a lot more to get accurate matches for that stuff than we expected. So what we have available right now works and can be used for searches. We actually do have it automatically updating. As David mentioned, we have a cron job set on the server, and it'll pull in new posts as they're posted. Since today's the 5th, and it seems like everybody posts at the beginning of the month. We couldn't really test the updating until this weekend, so that's something that we need to polish some more. But yeah, you guys can go to it and use it. Hopefully some of you can find a job. We're looking for jobs.
Absolutely.
Guys, do we have some more time?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I have just a few comments then. Others have mentioned this, but I thought this was a really relevant mashup of APIs, so pretty thoughtful there. Your scope was fairly large, I would say, and yet you still managed to pull it off. And based on your explanation of how you organized the group, it just sounds like you must have done a reasonably good job of distributing the work to get this much work done and push it over the finish line. So I thought that was really impressive, really well done. I appreciated that you had a README that tells me how to get going. It sounds like there's probably quite a few things missing from the README, from cron jobs you're talking about and all this other stuff, but at least you've got to start there, and I'd encourage you to update it. I did notice in your code there were quite a few places where there were some really big, gnarly functions. So I would like to encourage getting that stuff broken up into smaller, purposeful functions that are well tested, of course. But
thanks.
That's my feedback. Really, really good overall. Nice job, guys.
Great, thank you.
Okay. I think that's it. If anyone else has a comment, please go ahead and do it. Otherwise, we can just close this 7th edition of Demo Day. It's not. We didn't go through like we thought initially, being 4 projects, we were going to be way over time, but we're kind of good. Sorry about these 8 minutes that we spent. I want to thank the jury again, Dustin, Manu, and Belen, because we know how valuable your time is, and being here to support these guys, being here to put an ear and a piece of brain to provide your feedback and your insight is really valuable. Guys, again, amazing process, amazing project. It's really valuable to have something really built. So again, I want to say thank you to all. This video is going to be available in a few days. Actually, it's going to be available right now. But I'm going to do I'm going to do like a wrap up in a blog post or something with a summary of the projects. So that's it. Thank you very much. I don't know if anyone else has something to say. We can just get this done. We have audience, by the way. We had 15 viewers at one point. So you're kind of famous. Okay, guys. Thank you again.
Thank you.
See you all around.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Guys, for the project.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.